Sports 360 AZ here in Tempe with ASU's new offensive coordinator, Marcus Arroyo. Coach, welcome to Tempe. And what's been the first impressions of working with the staff and this offensive side of the football for the team?
Yeah, it's been good. I think that, when you think about taking jobs, you got to think about, and you've been in it for a long, I've been in it for a long time now, for, 9 states every level and NFL and back. And I think what you look for and what you see it began to become a little clearer. And the people are probably the most important piece. When I talked to Coach the first time and started looking through the staff and started looking through the roster and how he was recruiting and what his philosophy were, and dipped back to some people in Oregon when he was there after me and started to get a bigger picture of kind of him and his picture and what was happening here, it became pretty attractive. And I'd seen it before. I'd played against here. I know this area well. I know the conference very well in the Big 12. It became more and more exciting the more we talked. And in the short weeks we've been here, I think being able to connect with the staff and see the players and kind of see the intent, the human side of a lot of the program is probably the thing you see most when you're not doing football like 1,000%. That to me really has been the most exciting part. I mean, obviously there's a lot of kids that we've brought in, a lot of kids on the roster that get me excited about offensive football, but we haven't picked up a ball yet. So that's really probably the most exciting piece.
We saw the schemes that Kenny would throw out. Some of them were by necessity last year. Some of them were just getting creative. Yeah. How has it been working on that side of the football with him and coming together to kind of build that offensive scheme together?
Yeah, I mean, we're just starting that actually. So it's been, it's been a collective effort in regards to communication. We communicated exactly what he was looking for as an offense. And I think that we have a lot of common themes in regards to how we see it, how to be explosive and how to be quarterback-centric, how to utilize your personnel, how to play with tempo, how to control a game, how to play situational football, how to be fundamentally sound. And those have been the things we've really been hammering out, the details. Some things, and I know how it goes, necessity is what happens when you get banged up or you're in early stages of a program build. I get that. And so now we just kind of build a fence around what I thought would fit with what we do, what I do, how it fits our playbook, try to mend it best to what these guys know already, and then build it around the personnel that I'm starting to finally take a look at. And so that part's exciting because you start getting the X and O's and the minutia of the ball, and that's where we all kind of get fired up.
Coach mentioned many times about your work with quarterbacks, and can you just speak to the group that you have, Jaden Rashada, Sam Levitt, Trenton Bourguet, of what you think you could do with some of those quarterbacks and your first impressions of them?
Yeah, I think that where the time is right now, and we haven't had a chance to pick up the ball and do anything on the field, so it's all off film. I saw Jaden the last few years recruiting, let alone when he's young. I saw the ability for him. I've watched some of the film he had when he played a little last year, and definitely has some traits and some critical skills that you're excited about at the quarterback position. More than anything, I think that he's competitive and he's smart and he's tough. He's productive. He can be productive when he's got a live arm. He can be productive as heck, given the right opportunity. As a young guy, it's hard to really judge a guy holistically until you really get into what they were learning, so that's hard to tell. But I think there's some traits there that are really exciting. Sam had a chance to recruit and got here right away. First one we really recruited and got right on him. Knew a little bit about him. I've been from up there from Oregon. And so, he has some skills, again, that really lend himself to this offense that we're excited about. He'll extend plays, strong arm, smart, tough, really ultra competitive. Can do a lot of different things with the ball. And with the personnel I think we've got outside, the objective there is to get these guys the ball and let them run. So that's exciting that these guys will be able to do that.
And in this past year, where you were away from the game, how do you feel you grew as a coach? What were you trying to focus on in this last year and now in this new role?
Yeah, that's such a cool question because I've spent a lot of time thinking about it. It's 20 years in, and really the first year I've ever sat and took the opportunity to sit. You could do some other things, and I think I used it. Learned a lot about, number one, my family. As a coach, you're not home very much, so I took the opportunity to be a dad, and I got two young kids, and got to be Billy Madison at 4th grade lunch and mess around a lot. I got a 2-year-old son who I got to spend some time with and really spend some quality time of learning about them. That was probably the biggest thing in the off season that was that was really special. I think the other thing that I did was I wasn't going to sit on my hands. I made about a 356-day calendar. I made a full 12-month calendar of what I was going to do. So I traveled around about 15 different teams and visited all my counterparts and cohorts across the country at all levels. NFL team, about 6 NFL teams and 8 college teams, and did a ton of ball, and really reflected on the first chance I've had in a really long time to kind of reflect on my own offense and what things I could take a deep breath about. And it basically turned into a living lab. It was like to sit back and kind of really focus on what you like, what you're doing, where football's going, how I can be a better coach, how I can be better, for a better staff member, was really, I think, really fruitful.
Now you're with ASU now. I'm going to ask about the rival Arizona Wildcats. They just hired Brent Brennan. I know that you worked with him back at San Jose State. What are your thoughts on him getting that job, and what coach are they getting at U of A?
Yeah, Brent's, I've known Brent for, going on 20 years. I've been one of my bestest friends, in my wedding, one of my closest friends. So super, super excited for him. Well deserved. He's got a background there and tradition there with his family that's really special. I think that makes, we do this job, and a lot of times, you hope you have a connection that's that passionate with where you're at. Usually it's developed. That one's almost innate because of the history he has with his family there. So couldn't be more excited for him. Getting a really gregarious, tough, loyal, hard-working guy that is very, very authentic. And I think that's the cut we're from here. That's the reason I'm here. It's because that's what I got from Kenny and what they're trying to build here, and that's what I'm interested in. So, cheers to Arizona, but not at all.
Right.
Yeah.